One question we come across quite often is what's the difference between lust and sexual desire, or a healthy sexual desire, or a normal sexual desire, or a sexual desire that you ought to have in your marriage towards your spouse. It's normal for people around our age to be asking now, because if we've went through any type of chastity talk or moral theology class, we came to understand what we shouldn't be doing, and we came to understand that there were desires in us that we shouldn't be acting on. Now, once you're married, you start feeling, well, am I allowed to have these desires towards my spouse? Is this normal to have these desires towards my spouse? The easiest way for us to differentiate between a healthy sexual desire for your spouse and a lustful desire for your spouse is the word use. And we got this from St. John Paul II in Love and Responsibility. And basically what it boils down to is, are you using your spouse as a means to an end? Because sexual desire in and of itself is not a negative thing. The passions that we feel towards our beloved, that's a good and healthy thing. But it's what we do with those passions that make all the difference. Do those passions and that desire, does that lead us to love them more, to pursue them, to want to be with them, to be intimate with them, to connect with them? Or does a passion lead us to pursue them as a way of satisfying our desires? Right? There's a little distinction there. Are we using them or are we loving them? We talk about this more in the latest episode of the Two Become Family podcast, episode 154, From Lust to Love. We unpack way more of what happened in our story and hopefully how God wants to impact your story. We'll see you there.